Welcome Harley enthusiasts, car audio guys. I'm super pumped about this. We are going to bring you our Harley overhaul special here. These bikes are not that loud and the audio system in them has to basically overcome all the road noise, the helmet that's on the rider's head through all that foam, and they need to be able to listen to the music. So this has got an upgraded Harley system. This is the boom system that's currently on here. It's a 4-speaker system. We're going to rip all this out. We're going to put in new batteries, so upgraded power supply. We're going to put in sound digital amplifier, 1200.4, which is going to give a whopping 200 watts for every speaker. And we're going to put ground zero GZCF 6.5 speakers in, which are a coax. They're a competition highest PL speaker, and it'll be 6 of them. So it'll be in the tour pack and the fairings down here, and we'll have a mini DSP from HKI as well, a digital signal processor to break up all the different frequencies and absolutely make this bike hammer. How loud is this going to be? Well, it is going to be loud enough that you'll be hearing it in the car, 3 cars behind the bike. So you'll hear it coming before you'll hear the exhaust noise, I can guarantee you that. So before we start, we're going to do some testing just to assess the current system, so we can do some measurements, understand what the sound pressure is, understand what the equalisation is of the current Harley system, and then we're going to rip it all out and put our system in. Stay tuned, I'm pumped. So before we get started, we want to measure the performance of the existing boom system, and to do that we're going to use our audio control microphone. This will measure the frequency range of the current system. So from 20 Hertz to 20,000 Hertz, we're playing some what they call pink noise. This microphone will pick it up and it'll graph for us. Over here on the laptop we can see which frequencies are high or louder, which frequencies are low or missing altogether, and that will tell us the performance of the system at the moment, and what the rider is actually hearing may not be the full frequency range. And we also need to remember that, I should turn that down, we also need to remember that when the rider's on the bike, you're competing against all the low frequency noises. So everything under 100 Hertz, you're competing with exhaust noise, you're competing with the road noise. And don't forget the helmet has foam in it, and that foam will attenuate everything down, like from 100 Hertz down. So it's going to be very hard to hear those low frequencies. So when you look at the performance of the current system, you'll see that there's not a lot of boost on those lower frequencies. It's all aimed at around 100 Hertz and up, or around 80 Hertz and up. Now, when the bike's stopped, you can tune it. We can put speakers in the saddlebags here. You're going to get more of a bass lift from the tour pack because those speakers are vented into the tour pack. So you will hear some low frequencies when the bike's off and stopped. But when you're on the road, you're not going to hear all that. You're competing with all that noise. You're basically blocking out those lower frequencies. So you will hear, though, from sort of those 150, 200 Hertz up, is going to be quite strong. So we also need to make sure they're not overpowering the higher frequencies. So we want to level it out as best as we can. And that's what the software does. We get in and we tune this system, we level out the EQ, we take all the Harley factory settings out. And that's our baseline. We want to start with that. And then we can really enhance the audio system of this bike when we add the speakers and an amplifier to boost the output. So let's have a quick look at what the graph's doing now. So while we're working on bikes,
volume is a bad volume knob. I think that is worse than push button volume. Either you go way far and you just don't have no feedback in it.
we're watching 12 volts
or kind of.
Well, it's a wrap on the 2020 Ultra Glide. We've installed a 6-speaker ground zero sound digital system in this bike. Really, it is so loud, and obviously needs to be loud because we're competing against all the road noise. So with the GZ 6.5 SPL speakers, we've got 6 of them. Now they'll fit in the fairings, a little bit of modification to the pods at the back, as you can see in the video, but they have a 50 hertz passive crossover on them, so they're really rolling off down there, so I haven't really changed them. I'm just letting that work itself. What I did do is then look around those frequencies and above, and there was a little bit of a peak around 160. I've had to cut that down, and I've boosted the frequency around 400 hertz as well. So they actually equalize flat pretty well out of the box. But then what I did find is, depending on the location, there was a big dip here around 1600 hertz, so I've really had to boost that a little bit. But time corrected the back as well. I love it. I thought it was fantastic. The installation on these bikes is relatively straightforward. Having said that, a few fundamentals, especially around the wiring. So obviously we only use oxygen-free copper, not copper-clad aluminium. Very, very important not to use CCA wire on any installation, but in particular on bikes, and in particular using very, very small amplifiers like the Sound Digital ones, which are really compact and highly efficient. And the problem is, when you then restrict the current flow and the voltage to these amplifiers, you can sometimes cook them really easily. And that's basically because a CCA wire, copper-clad aluminium, I think from memory, what is it, 50% less conductive than a similar size conductor of same diameter in copper. So you'd be better off using a good quality welding cable before you touch copper-clad aluminium. So just a heads up, guys, in any of the installations, the wiring kits we provide for these bikes is all oxygen-free copper. So if you buy them from us, included in the little pack for a 2, 4, 6 or 8 speaker system with the amplifier, you know you're not going to go wrong. Fused, etc., all that. I don't really have much else to say other than with the DSP and the tuning, the sound out of this is phenomenal. Really impressed. If you want any more information, hit us up. So the usual, WhatsApp, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, guys. Just text me any questions. Look on the website. Hopefully we'll have these packages on soon. But really hope you enjoyed the video, and see you again next time.